Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Maya, and I'm very excited for today's video because we're doing another makeup tutorial, doing a nice eye look, this one that I have on now, and I'm really feeling how my skin looks. It's been problematic lately, so I'll tell you more, but this is gonna be like a chit chat, get ready with me type of video, which I haven't really done before, but I thought that I would share a little bit more about myself. And yeah, in the video you'll see my skin hasn't been the best lately. It's been like really problematic. I'm still trying to figure out what works for me, but I think it's getting better. But yeah, I'm just happy that like the foundation and the moisturizers and everything that I use came out together to get my skin looking pretty decent. Like I like how it looks. It looks really luminous and clear. Like it doesn't look like I have problematic bumpy skin, which I definitely do. So if you want to learn more about how I did this eye look and the products I used for my skin, then just keep on watching. I haven't talked that much about myself on this channel, so I thought that I would just open up a little bit and tell you guys like some sprinklings about my life. And if you guys have questions, feel free to leave comments or message me on any of my social media platforms down below. And I'll be happy to go into more detail about me. And before we get started with the video, if you like makeup tutorials, hair tutorials, curly hair videos, anything along that little area, then make sure you hit the red subscribe button down below so you don't miss a single video of mine, and also click the little bell icon so you're notified when I upload. I'm gonna be uploading a little bit more frequently, so if you've been subscribed for a while, you know, bear with me, but I really appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna be putting more content out there. So yeah, let's just get started with the video. It's just like a beautiful glowy look that you could use to go out. I was thinking about like my birthday's coming up and my boyfriend's birthday is coming up, so there will be like a few times where I'll be like dressing up a little bit more, looking cute, going out, and I'm starting to like think about what I want to use for those outings. So yeah, I've just been playing around with like more glittery fun looks, and this is one that I came up with. For this look I used the new Lolita Vida palette, which I absolutely adore. This has so many good, beautiful, luxurious shades. I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about what I like about this palette, but overall it's a really strong palette, beautiful colors, a little bit of kick up but nothing crazy, and overall like the color story is awesome. You can put together a wide variety of looks and they're all so beautiful. So I actually really love this palette. My sister gave it to me for Christmas, so India, thank you. I really appreciate it. And yeah, let's jump into the video. So I'm going to start off with just some moisturizer. This is from Illimasqua. This is the Hydra Veil, which is, this hydrator is just awesome. It's like a gel. And you can just take like a little bit, and it's perfect for like combination or oily skin. I really love this. So I just take a little scoop using the little scooper that it comes with and just smooth it over my skin. But yeah, this is great because it's not heavy at all, it's not greasy, but it still hydrates and you still notice like your skin is super soft, a little bit luminous but not dewy by any means. So yeah, I really like this. So I've had my sister on my channel before, which I'll link that video down below, where I did like a makeover, but I am a twin, and for Christmas my sister got me several things that are like makeup related, but one that I'm super excited about trying out is this palette from Kat Von D. This is the Lolita Vida palette. So it's just so beautiful. I've swatched a bit, so you'll notice that like stuff is a little crumbly. I've definitely like dabbled in it, but I haven't done like a full-on look, so I thought it would be fun to do something a little bit like smoky and purple, and just use some of these colors here because they're really calling out to me. And I just love that this palette is a combination of like really beautiful everyday matte tones and some awesome like glitter tones. So you definitely get a crazy array of colors if you used the original Lolita palette. I mean, this is similar in terms of some of these like purpley tones, but it's completely different because it does incorporate like this golden tone, and it has shimmery and glitter shades, while the other palette is just completely matte. So if you do enjoy having something that's both like every day and nighttime, I feel like you'll enjoy this palette a bit more because you really get that array of colors. On top of this palette, my sister also got me a few products from Shiseido, which I included in my last video, but I didn't include this product, which is the Shiseido Essential Energy Eye Definer. This is just like a really nice eye cream, so I'm going to apply a little under my eyes. As you guys can see, I have crazy dark under eye circles, so I'm hoping that this will help with that. And then, oh, a lot came out. And also just with like, I have a lot of fine lines under my eyes just because I'm like super expressive. I'm one of those people that's like always, I don't know, smizing and stuff. So I just want to make sure that I treat my under eyes well. So I'm going to get into the routine of using this eye product. It's really highly reviewed online, so I'm hoping it helps with like the fine lines that I have. And I'm just going to bring this up around the entire like eye socket. So for my eyebrows, I pretty much like to outline them, so you can see I'm just drawing like a line above and a line below, and then just do a few little strokes in the areas where I have more like sparse areas. So here around like the arch, the front of my eyebrow, and then a little bit in between wherever I seem fit, pretty much. And then I blend this through my eyebrows every few like little strokes, so it just looks really natural and the pigment spreads evenly throughout my eyebrow and you don't have like one really dark area. It helps so much to use the spoolie just to blend the color through the brow. When I get to the front of my eyebrow, I tend to do strokes that are upwards just because that's how the actual hairs grow. So I follow that direction and it seems to blend in pretty well that way and still look like feathery and not like a very concrete block right here. I've just been really wanting to share a little bit more about me on my channel. I feel like a lot of my videos are just centered around some of the routines that I have or some of the looks that I've prepared, but I just want to be like a little bit more open. So I thought I would take some time today in today's video just to talk about me and all that. So let's start with some questions. So where do I live? I feel like I've talked about this in some capacity on my channel, but maybe I haven't really put out there. But I do live in the New York City area, and I've lived in New York my whole life pretty much. I take that very like pridefully, but I did recently move to New Jersey, which breaks my heart to say, but it's just the prices of like apartments in New York are crazy. I feel like I make decent money and still I'm like, yeah, I could have a closet in Manhattan, or I can have like an actual decent apartment right outside Manhattan. So I'm pretty close to Manhattan. It's pretty much just like right across the river is where I live, but it does change things a little bit in terms of like the transportation that I take every day and that kind of thing. And I think eventually I would want to get a car. I'm that typical New Yorker who literally doesn't know how to drive, which is insane. I feel like I get so much shit from people who like aren't from New York, but I think New Yorkers get it. It's just like, when do you learn to drive? At least some New Yorkers, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's just like you never drive. So I never drive and I never learned how to drive, but it is something that I want to do in the next year in 2020, learn how to drive and then eventually get a car, live that suburban life maybe. That's where I'm at right now. I do work in Manhattan, so I commute to Midtown every single day for work, or 5 days a week, which is fine. My commute is pretty quick, so no complaints there. It's about like a 30 to 40 minute commute every day, and my job is pretty chill. So what is my job? I work in marketing, so I'll keep it just at that, but pretty much I work for like a large marketing company in Manhattan, and it's like a global company, so I do feel like I get some great like knowledge, some understanding about marketing. And I don't work for like social media marketing, but you know, it's principles that you could apply across the board, and it's something that really interests me. I've been working in marketing for about 4 to 5 years now, so for a while, and I really love what I do. It's really rewarding, and I feel like YouTube and makeup and stuff like that is my true hobby. I love it too, but marketing is something that's super cool. And it's funny because when I went to college and all of that, I never thought that I would end up in marketing. It's something that really didn't cross my mind, and then somehow things fell into place, and that's where I am, and I'm super happy with that decision. I feel like I said, it's super rewarding, so I love what I do. So I'm living with that belief of your eyebrows are sisters, not twins, and I'm really trying to push for that because I'm like dying that they look different, but I also don't want to spend like 35 minutes doing my eyebrows. So we're gonna move on, and if we need to touch them up later, we can definitely do that. For now, I feel like they're okay, they look acceptable. So now that my eyebrows are filled in, I'm gonna use a little bit of concealer, and I'm using the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer. I've heard so many good things about this concealer, and I've had it for maybe like 3 weeks now. It's okay. I feel like maybe it's just because I have like severely dark under eye circles, but I feel like it's not full coverage enough for me. So it is what it is. So I'm just gonna clean up around the perimeter of my eyebrows, just to make sure that like I know that I have a bunch of little hairs that haven't been plucked and that sort of thing that I just want to clean up the overall appearance of. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to use some of this concealer to just prime my eyelids. So carving out underneath, just cleaning up the overall eyebrow look, and at the same time just applying a little bit on my lids. And I'm just going to use my beauty blender to blend this in. Alright, so talking a little bit more about me, I guess I can go on to like some of my family. So my parents are actors in New York, which is pretty crazy. I feel like a lot of people don't typically grow up with parents that are actors. They're not like super famous or anything like that, but they are working actors that have made their incomes and our family be like all right, just based off of acting and like singing and performing, that kind of thing. So I feel like even though that's something that I'm not working in, it's always been like really interesting to me, and something I grew up around. So yeah, it's pretty unique, something that like I said, you don't really typically see people who have parents that are actors, but also, you know, I feel like they're that testament to you can make like your full-time job really something that you're passionate about and still make it work, and you don't need to be famous, but you can still like be successful and you know, make a living income and provide for a family. And I think a lot of that is just about how my parents are like hard workers. So before powdering my eyelids to set that concealer, I'm going to use a little bit of the Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Brow like little eyebrow gel, and I love this stuff, it's so good. So this just helps keep my eyebrows in place. I'm gonna use this giant fluffy brush. This is from Complex Culture. It's the contour blush brush. So I just lightly dust that over my eyelid. All right, now that we have that set, oh, you could see how like red my skin looks, but I'm gonna use the color here, Esperanza. It's a really neutral color. It's just a little bit more pink than my skin is. So my skin is almost like that same tone, but instead of being like pink, it's more yellow. So I'm gonna just pop this into the crease and up towards the eyebrow, so surpassing the crease, just to get like that kind of cool tone blended up through the eye. There is a bit of like dustiness to this palette, especially with this like shade, the matte shade Esperanza. So I'm just going to pop this, if I'm just looking straight forward, right here where the actual bone structure is, I'm going to start in the crease and just blend in little windshield wiper motions. Starting right in the crease and then just blending upward towards the eyebrow. All right, now that we have that all set, I'm gonna go in with the color Lolita por Vida. So that's the name of this actual palette. So it's just like this beautiful, like burnt burgundy, a little bit like grayish color. I don't know, this is such a beautiful tone. So I'm gonna pop that into the crease right on top of where we just laid this, but not bringing up quite as much, like towards my eyebrow. So again, I'm just gonna look forward and just pop my brush into the crease, but just keeping it lower down so it can like kind of overlap onto the lid a little bit. And I'm gonna bring it into the outer V area just to get a little bit more definition into the eye crease. I just want this like a little bit blown out, super well blended. So we're gonna just blend this for a while back and forth into the crease to really get a beautiful gradient. We're not using a ton of shades in this look, so to make sure that we have something that's really well blended is important. I'm gonna pull this out a little bit to make sure that this gradient is super smooth on the outer edge. All right, this is where we are now, and it's nothing crazy. It's just like a blended out crease look. We've only used 2 shades so far, so I'm gonna move into the next shade, and this one that I'm gonna use is just so pretty. It's this color right here, Rosario. It has a teeny bit of shimmer, but we're still gonna use this on the crease pretty much. We're gonna blend this into the outer corner. We're gonna be using like a shimmer shade on the lid, so I feel like these shimmers kind of mix well, so it's a little bit more forgiving that we're using like a shimmery shade in the crease. For this darker shade, I'm gonna use a more tapered blending brush, so I'm using this one, the J412. I think this is a Jessup brush, I'm guessing. It's just a very tapered blending brush. So I'm picking up Rosario on that brush and just slowly bringing that color into the crease a little bit and blending it back and forth to build up that pigmentation. It's pretty subtle, but you can see like there's that slight shimmer that's really pretty. We're gonna use one other shade in the crease, so this won't be quite as shimmery later, but I love the depth that this is giving the eyes. Before moving on to like the darkest color in my crease that's really gonna give me some dimension, I'm gonna use the star of the show, this shimmery, beautiful color called Luna. It is so beautiful. It's like this silvery purple that's like foiled looking, and it looks like kind of wet. It feels kind of wet. It's just like such a beautiful color, and it swatches amazingly. Like that's just one little dip into the pan on my finger, and yeah, I love this. And ever since I saw this palette and I've been swatching, I've really wanted to do a look using this color. So we're gonna use this small little brush. This is just a paint brush that I've had forever. You guys have probably seen this in a couple of videos if you've watched a few. This is like my baby brush. I love this. It's a flat, slightly tapered brush that is just great for detail, like putting a glitter on, because its flat dimensions really help pick up shadow. So I'm just dragging it along the shadow to pick up a good amount. And I'm gonna just start in the inner corner and blend this onto the eye. And I'm really just kind of laying it flat and dragging it and not really blending too much. I'm not like moving my brush around a lot because I really want this to be very saturated. So I didn't start with my foundation today because I didn't want like this shimmery shadow to get everywhere and get on top of my like concealer and powder and all that. But it's really not bad, so I feel like you don't necessarily have to do that because there's not too much fallout. So right here where we start to hit this crease shade, I'm just blending back and forth slightly, and I'm not too worried about it. I'm just gonna keep it right here in the front and into the center of the lid. Then whatever's left on my brush, I'm just kind of dabbing it to help it blend a little bit, but we'll go back with some crease shades to really make sure that's a smooth gradient. So I am loving how this is looking, but before moving on, we need to add some depth. So you can see there's a really nice like wash of color in the crease, and there's that beautiful glittery shade. But I just want it to like pop a little bit more. I love accentuating like an almond shaped eye. I'm gonna use this really small little blending brush. This is from Vasanti, and this is the contour eyeshadow brush. It's just like a small tapered mini blending brush, and I'm gonna use this to blend this darkest shade. So this color right here, Cariño, I'm gonna use in the outer corner of my eye, like that outer V area, to really make my eyes pop, give them some dimension, and take this eye look to the next level. I'm gonna go back with my Morphe 441, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of Lolita por Vida and just smooth out this outer edge. I'm pretty much just working back and forth to really blend this out. So you know how I was saying I really love like almond shapes, so this just helps bring that almond shape out if you pull the dark like crease shade into the inner area of the eye. Okay, so this is where we are at. I cannot wait to clean this look up, but it's actually really pretty. For my eyeliner, I'm gonna use the Haus Labs little marker pen. I want to accentuate that like almond shape, so I'm bringing the eyeliner all the way into the inner corner, and I'm gonna do like a nice little cat eye at the end, just to bring that shape like outward a little bit more. A few videos back, I told you guys about these lashes. These are the Colourpop Mami lashes, and this is what I'm going to be using today. I'm just going to pop them right on. Alright, so we got the lashes on, and I like how they look. They look super wispy, but we desperately need to finish the face and get something on the bottom lashes just to help balance this out, because right now all you see is like floppy little wings on my eyes. So I'm going to be using an oldie but a goodie. I haven't used this foundation in quite some time, but I recently picked up the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. So another product that I'm back on using that I haven't used in a few years is the Bobbi Brown Corrector. So this is mine right here. I'm going to just dab this under my eyes. So you use the correctors from Bobbi Brown in combination with concealers. This is just to like help neutralize the under eye area, and it works really well for me. Like I feel like it makes such a big difference. After using my corrector, I'm going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. This is in the color medium beige. And I'm just going to pop this right on top in like a little triangular shape, a little bit on my forehead, because I just want to like brighten this up a little bit. So you know how there's always like those magazine interviews where, I don't know why this is something that they ask like every musician or artist in magazine interviews. They always ask them like, what's the one makeup item you couldn't live without? Or like, if you were on a deserted island, what one makeup product would you bring? And they always say mascara, but maybe it's just me, but I would be all about concealer. Like I love concealer and eyeliner. Those are like my two go-tos. Even though now I've gotten a little like better with just using mascara a lot of days and keeping things more simple, I feel like I still love eyeliner and what it does for my eyes. And concealer, I mean, man, what a difference. To set the concealer under my eyes, I need to work kind of quickly. So I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder. This stuff is awesome. It's brightening. It really helps set under the eyes. It's finely milled, so it's not like cakey at all. So I'm going to just take the other side of my beauty blender, pick up some product, not too much, just like that amount, and just like push it under my eye. Now going back in with my Tarte setting powder. This is the Amazonian Tinted Pressed Finishing Powder in medium. And that big fluffy brush that I started with from Complex Culture. And I'm just gonna set my whole face with this. I like using this powder to set my face. Once I've done that, I like to go in with some bronzer. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer. I love this stuff. This stuff is so good. I'm gonna do a little bit of highlighting. I'm using the Ofra highlighter in Rodeo Drive. I'm just picking up a little bit and just brushing it on the tops of my cheeks. Now that we have this beautiful glow on the skin, I'm just gonna amplify it with some blush. I'm using the Love at First Blush Highlight and Sculpt Cheek Stick. This is a cream blush, and I love this one. This one's in the color Pink Pop and Pearl. I mentioned this in a previous video. It looks like NARS Orgasm. So what I do is just kind of warm it up on my fingers, get a good amount of product there, and then just tap it onto my skin. I'm then just gonna go back with my beauty blender and make sure that the edges of that cream blush are kind of blended into the skin so you don't see like fingerprints or anything like that. So now we are going back to the eyes just to finish them off because they're still looking top heavy. I haven't done anything since I put on the lashes. So what I'm going to do is take the color Lolita por Vida onto this Jessup 231 brush. These are super cheap brushes and I love them, so I'll link them down below for you guys. But just pick up a little bit, and then I just want to blend this under the eye. So I'll zoom you guys in so you can see that. So this is an eyeliner. You want this to be a diffused color under the eye. So I'm taking it pretty low down to like pretty much where this little crease is that I have here. Alright, and then for the lips, I'm going to use the Moisture Renew lipstick. This is from Rimmel, and I'm going to use the color Tower of Mauve. This is such a beautiful mauve color. I want to keep the lips pretty simple because I feel like this is a little eye heavy. So I'm using the color Walk of Shame in the Urban Decay Naked Lip Gloss. This is just like a really light pink. Okay, so there we have it. This is the final look. I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial. It's just really like dewy, beautiful skin, and the eyes are like really just amped up for going out, but it's not like a crazy color, anything too dramatic, so I feel like it's very approachable. Like if you just want like a really beautiful, sexy eye look, but maybe you're not comfortable using tons of colors, then this is a great option because you get a little bit of like a purple tone, but it's still very neutral. I also meant to show you guys my nails. How cute are they? Clearly grown out. It's been like 2 weeks, a little over even. But they're so cute. What do you guys think? But yeah, I've really been like enjoying getting my nails done and testing new stuff. So I think I'm back on that wave of like having decent nails in public. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure that you give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.